Hello and welcome back to the next video in our series on XYZ Mesh. In this video, I'm going to be going over the export options that you have inside of XYZ Mesh and the different types of formats that you can export your data into. So the first thing I want to look at is we have this data that we've already pasted in from last time, and it is converted over into a mesh format. If we want to go ahead and export this, we just go up to File and export to Excel. You can also export the converted data to a DXF or the input data to a DXF, which we'll get to in a minute. For now, I want to look at the Excel export. So File, Export to Excel, and what we have here is a window that we can then customize to our liking. So if we have this toggled on, the Include Chart Information, we can include any information that we want about the chart itself. You can include project name, the location, the type of data that you use, the client name, client business, and the converted date. You can also include down here information about your business, and this information will be saved on the computer, so whenever you come back to it later on, you won't have to type this in again. You can go in and change it if you need to, but you can very easily just toggle this on and off and it will save the information for you. The types of charts that you have are listed here. Previously, we already looked at a 3D surface graph. You can also do a 3D wireframe, which is what this section is right down here. That is a 3D wireframe. A display contour, which would be a solid heat graph. And then you also have a display contour wireframe, which would be a wireframe heat graph. Then you have the option of no graph, and you just have the depth cell coloring, which is what you see back here in the mesh format. So in case you just want to show the different values in a mesh format without the graph and you want to have it cell colored or shaded, that is all you need to do with that as well. Once you have this ready, go ahead and hit export to Excel. It'll take a little bit of time for it to convert everything over, and as you can see, you now have 3D wireframe inside Excel. You can also use this to right click on the chart and go to 3D rotation, and you can rotate this chart any way that you need to. Well, what if you don't want to convert this to Excel? What if you just want to, say, put your data onto XYZ Mesh, you want to curve the data, but you still want it in XYZ format? That's easy enough to do with this button right down here. Copy to XYZ. So this data will take all of your data that is inside the mesh converted section and copy it directly to XYZ for you, so then you can paste it anywhere you want. So let's go ahead and hit copy to XYZ. We come up with a little dialog box here that says copy data in XYZ format, and now we can go right back into Excel. Let's see this one. We can add a new sheet in here and we can paste this in. And as you can see, we originally started with 53 lines of data. We now have 111. Let's look at converting this into a CSV file. So we have converted mesh data. Let's put that into a CSV. A CSV is kind of like an Excel document. It's a tabbed or tabular document, but it's text-based instead of Microsoft Excel formatted. So let's go ahead and go to File, Export Converted to CSV. This will bring up a new dialog window where you can export this into a sample converted CSV. That is going to allow you to save that, and I'm going to go into our sample folders here, which is right here. Now I currently have my CSV files automatically set up to open in Excel. You can open this in a text document, you can open this in Excel. So for instance, I'm going to open in a notepad first, and as you can see, we now have all of our data in a tabular format inside of a text document. Now, whenever you export into a DXF, you have three different options for converted data. You can either do just points, which is the individualized points of the data itself. You can also do a mesh conversion, which converts the wireframe format right here into a mesh style format using lines. So even if you have a very basic CAD application that doesn't recognize meshes or solid faces, you can still convert this to a mesh format. It's just going to be a wireframe using basic lines. Or you can do both, where it has point and mesh lines converted together, where the points are on one layer, the lines are on another layer. Now, a lot of people want to take this XYZ data that you have here and convert that into a 3D scatter plot or a 3D line inside of Excel. And previously it was technically possible to do that, but it was a little bit cumbersome and it didn't work effectively with later versions of Excel. We removed that functionality in version 8 because since it didn't work entirely across the board with all versions of Excel, we just went ahead and removed it. However, with version 8.2, we've now added that functionality back in. And you can do that with Excel 3D chart. When you select that, you now have the export to Excel window that's brought up, but you have included here 3D scatter plot or a 3D line. And you can go ahead, select whichever one of those you want, and hit export to Excel. Whenever you do that, you will then be greeted with a new Excel document that has all of your data plotted on here for you. You have adjustable X plane, Y plane, and Z plane, as well as a zoom. And you also have rotations as well that you can use. Now, the last thing that I would like to show you on here is the comparison window. If you have two separate documents that you have saved, you can actually compare them. And how you save documents inside of XYZ Mesh or save project files is go to File and Save As. That will allow you to save different projects as XYZ formatted documents. So if I go up to Options, I can go to Compare Mesh, and now it's going to allow me to select two separate files. So first I'm going to load my first one, which is Test Export 1. Go ahead and hit Open on that. And then I'm going to load in my Test Export 2. So load in my second one, Test Export 2, open that up. Waiting for all the data sets to load. Okay, now we can go in, let us reset our graph so we have a good scale for this. And as you can see, we now have both of our data points or both of our graphs lined up here. And we can adjust this with the distancing right here so we can actually get a comparison as to how they're different. You can also change the type of graphs that you have. For instance, we're on a mesh, we can change that to a surface, we can change these to points. We can see what the differences between the graphs are. Hi, I'm Kyle, owner and operator of Great Technical. Thank you all so much for making it at this point in the video, and if you are here, go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot, and it lets me know that the content I'm making is stuff that you all like to see. Go ahead, leave us a comment as well. Let me know if there's anything that you would like to see in the future, or if you have any future updates that you would like to have included in our products in the future. I would also like to say that being a company owner, I am very proud to be able to support businesses and students. I am also extremely proud to be able to support content creators. So if you have a content platform, you make videos, or if you have a blog and you would like to reuse some of our content, or if you would like to review some of our products, go ahead and send me an email. My email is right here, support@greattechnical.com. Get in contact with me. me. We can see what we can get worked out. And until next time, thank you all very much. Have a great rest of your day.